The entertainment industry is known for its glamorous lifestyle, but beneath the surface lurks a dark reality that shocks even the most jaded. In this riveting expose, we unveil the top 10 celebrities who committed heinous crimes, shattering the illusions of their adoring fans. From heinous murders to sexual assault, these stars went from the pinnacle of fame to the depths of infamy, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Their fall from grace will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about fame and fortune. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of the latest updates on our channel. Number 10. Sid Vicious, charged for murder. In 1978, Sid Vicious and his girlfriend Nancy Spungen were living in a squalid hotel room when the bass player called the front desk, claiming that something had happened to his girlfriend. Tragically, it was soon discovered that Nancy had been stabbed several times in the stomach and was already dead. Sid was immediately arrested and accused of the murder of his girlfriend. However, just 3 months later, the bass player was found dead from a heroin overdose, and as a result, the case was closed without Sid ever being tried for the heinous crime. In 2009, a movie entitled Who Killed Nancy challenged the widely held belief that Sid had murdered his girlfriend. The film suggested that Sid was passed out when Nancy was killed, and that a considerable sum of money had been stolen from their room at the time of the incident. Nonetheless, even his former bandmates acknowledged Sid's descent into the clutches of heroin addiction and how it likely contributed to Nancy's untimely demise while he was under the influence of drugs. Number 9. R. Kelly, charged for child pornography, sex trafficking, and more. Since the 1990s, the name R. Kelly has been synonymous with scandal and notoriety. The singer has consistently made headlines with allegations of sexual abuse that have followed him to this very day. In 2002, he was arrested and indicted on 21 counts of child pornography. The accusations against Kelly were particularly disturbing, as he was alleged to have made a sex tape with a 12-year-old girl whom he had promised to mentor and introduce to the world of stardom. However, the identity of the girl was never confirmed during the trial, and her testimony was considered lacking, which ultimately favored Kelly's case. Despite this, the singer did not testify in court. His defense argued that the tape was of such poor quality that the jury could not even confirm the identity of the girl. They claimed that both Kelly and the girl could have been models or prostitutes who resembled them, and it was the jury's duty to find the man innocent. In 2008, R. Kelly was acquitted of all charges. But the story did not end there. In 2019, the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly detailed allegations of sexual abuse by several women. By 2021, the singer was found guilty on 9 counts, including racketeering, sexual exploitation of a child, kidnapping, bribery, sex trafficking, and a violation of the Mann Act. A Brooklyn court sentenced him to 30 years in prison. Number 8. Marilyn Manson, charged for criminal sexual conduct. Amidst his reputation for wild and outrageous behavior, Marilyn Manson's actions in 2001 were widely regarded as crossing the boundaries of decency. At a concert, the rock star reportedly spat on a security guard and forcefully pressed the guard's head against his exposed groin, leading to a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct. Despite Manson's penchant for shock value, involving an unwilling participant in such an indecent act was a serious offense. The musician was charged with assault and battery, as well as criminal sexual conduct, a felony that could have resulted in a prison sentence of up to 2 years. Nevertheless, Manson managed to avoid jail time, but was slapped with a hefty $4,000 fine. Number 7. Tim Allen, charged for drug trafficking. Prepare to be shocked, for behind the smiling face of beloved actor Tim Allen lies a dark and troubled past. Long before he became a household name, Allen found himself embroiled in a dangerous world of drug trafficking. In 1978, he was caught at the airport with a staggering 650 grams of cocaine on his guy. The charges against him were serious, and at first, it seemed as though Allen would spend the rest of his life behind bars. However, he struck a deal with the authorities, agreeing to reveal the names of other drug dealers in exchange for a reduced sentence. Miraculously, it worked, and after serving just 2 years and 4 months, Allen was granted parole. Since then, the actor has kept his nose clean, except for a single DUI incident in 1997, for which he received a mere slap on the wrist in the form of 1 year's probation. Number 6. JayZ, charged for attempted murder. The turbulent life of the rapper JayZ began with a dark chapter. At the tender age of 12, he was forced to confront his drug-addicted older brother who had stolen his prized ring. In a moment of desperation and fear, JayZ fired a bullet that struck his sibling in the shoulder, a moment forever etched in his mind. This experience, wrought with danger and violence, fueled the lyrics of his song, You Must Love Me, where he candidly speaks of seeing the devil in his brother's eyes, his confusion and the raw impulse that drove him to pull the trigger. Although he was never charged for the shooting, the incident haunted him for years. JayZ confessed in 2010 that the trauma of that event had led him to believe, unfortunately, this was not the end of his troubles. In 1999, JayZ found himself in another violent altercation, this time outside a nightclub where he stabbed Lance Un Riviera in the stomach. JayZ admitted to the misdemeanor charge and was sentenced to 3 years probation. Number 5. Vanilla Ice, charged for battery. The life of Vanilla Ice has been marked by a string of troubles with the law since the year 1991. It all began with his first arrest on a firearm charge when he was caught threatening a homeless man with a gun. A decade later, in 2001, he was once again in trouble when he was arrested for assaulting his wife. In court, he pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct and admitted to pulling out some of her hair during the attack. In 2008, he was arrested yet again for battery after being accused of hitting his wife. Although he was released the following day when his wife recanted and confirmed that he had only shoved her, he was warned to stay away from her from that point onwards. But even that case was eventually dropped. Number 4. Matthew Broderick, charged for causing death by dangerous driving. Our hearts have been shattered upon learning that the esteemed actor Matthew Broderick, whom we all hold so dear, has a tarnished past that is stained with blood. It was in the year 1987, while on a peaceful vacation in Ireland with his then-girlfriend Jennifer Grey, that tragedy struck. Unfamiliar with the local customs of driving on the left side of the road, Broderick made a wrong turn that resulted in a catastrophic collision with another vehicle, claiming the lives of 2 innocent souls, Anna Gallagher and her mother, while leaving Broderick and Gray gravely injured. The charges that followed were nothing short of severe, as Broderick was accused of causing death by dangerous driving, a crime that carries a sentence of up to 5 years in prison. However, to our utter dismay, justice was not served. Broderick was merely slapped with a meager fine of $175 and a reduced charge of careless driving, leaving the victim's family devastated. It is an unfathomable travesty of justice, and our hearts go out to those who have been left behind to grieve. Number 3. Snoop Dogg, charged for murder. The rise to fame of one of the world's most renowned rappers, Snoop Dogg, is not without its dark and suspicious past. While he may now enjoy the fruits of his success with financial and professional accolades to his name, his journey to the top was far from glamorous. During his school days, Snoop Dogg was no stranger to the wrong side of the law, facing charges of drug trafficking, specifically for cocaine, and even serving 6 months in prison. It is also known that he sold marijuana to an old high school classmate who later became a famous celebrity herself, Cameron Diaz. However, drug-related offenses pale in comparison to what followed. In 1993, Snoop Dogg and his bodyguard were accused and convicted of murder. The victim, Philip Woldemariam, was a rival gang member at the time, and the rapper and his bodyguard were found guilty of shooting him. While the bodyguard claimed self-defense and was acquitted, Snoop Dogg was not so lucky. He faced a lengthy legal battle and was only acquitted of the charges 3 years later, in 1996. Number 2. Will Smith, charged for aggravated assault. The year was 1989, and the city was Philadelphia. It was here that Will Smith found himself embroiled in a bitter argument with a music promoter by the name of William Hendrix. In a moment of heated anger, the actor ordered his bodyguard to unleash a brutal assault on the promoter. Will Smith was subsequently charged and convicted with aggravated assault, reckless endangering of another person, and criminal conspiracy. But as fate would have it, the charges were eventually dropped, and the actor was released from his cell after a harrowing night of constant disturbance by other inmates seeking autographs. Although Smith maintains his innocence to this day, he has called that fateful night the worst of his life. He insists that his involvement was minimal and that it was his friend who was responsible for the vicious attack on Hendrix. Number 1. Mark Wahlberg, charged for attempted murder. Long before he became a celebrated actor, Wahlberg was known for his tough guy roles, but few know of his troubled past. At the tender age of 13, he was already in the throes of a cocaine addiction. By 14, he had dropped out of school, and at 15, he was embroiled in a racially motivated crime, which saw him being hit with a civil action. It was alleged that Wahlberg had harassed African American students twice, hurling rocks at them and spewing racial slurs. He had a string of run-ins with the Boston Police Department, but his worst was yet to come. Wahlberg was charged with attempted murder, but he pleaded guilty to assault and was sentenced to 2 years in prison, serving only 45 days. But he did not stop there. The actor went on to apply for a full pardon for his past crimes, though he never followed through. And with this, we reach the end of today's video. What do you think about today's video? Share your opinion. Do let us know in the comment section below, and if you liked today's video, give us a thumbs up, and do not forget to hit the subscribe, share this video with your friends and family, and press the bell icon for more upcoming videos. We'll see you next time with a newer video. Stay tuned and take care.